Hello, I'm Graham Crosby. I had the privilege of having Pops Yoshimura develop and work with me over a couple of years on the Suzuki XR69, along with Suzuki Motor Company, of course. And between, I guess, the three of us, we were able to come away with a couple of world championships and lots of other race wins, and including the 8-hour race. But Pops to me was to me, one of those guys that was just hell-bent on having this connection with mechanical things, whether it be a valve or a camshaft or anything like that. And he was a man to draw the most out of an engine. He was always thinking how to do things better. One example of how Pops helped me was the 8-hour race in 1980, when we had a bit of trouble coming out of one of the corners. There was one leading onto the main straight, and as I was coming out, the carburetors were just faltering a little bit. And I went back and explained to Pops at the time, and him and his boys all got together, and Pops came up to the corner where I had the trouble and stood there and cupped his hands behind his ears, watched me come in, watched me go out, and listened intently for any sign of any little clue that gave him the opportunity to fix that problem. I did a couple of extra laps, came back in, and there he was. And he said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take 20 millimeter, or it might have been 15 millimeter, off the exhaust pipe at the back. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not going to make any bloody difference. It won't make any difference at all. I can't understand why you'd want to do it. Anyway, he did it, put the exhaust system back on the bike. It worked. I didn't believe it, but it worked. I went back out. It was clean. The carburation was brilliant. We ended up qualifying second, I think it was. And the race itself, the bike was faultless from the time we pushed out, got underway at the start, to the end 8 hours later. The bike never missed a beat. And I've got to say that it was probably one of the best races I've ever been involved in. It was close at the end with only a couple of seconds between us going across the line, and Lawson and Greg Hansford, who were running the Kawasaki, came across the line second. But there was also some issues during the race, which was with Wes Cooley's diabetes. He got to a point where he couldn't ride, so I had to finish. And there was calculations going backwards and forwards to figure out whether I could be on the bike long enough to make the end without extending past my minimum time that I was allowed on the bike. And as it turned out, we went across the line so close. But I could imagine in the pit area the tenseness of it. There was calculators going, and of course, that's on our team. The Hansford team and Lawson team were doing exactly the same thing, because it would have meant an automatic win to them. Anyway, we prevailed, we won, and I think Pops was actually quite happy to have his second win at the 8-hour race in front of Honda at their own track. So that was fantastic. Now, the only other thing I would like to say is that both Fujio and Namiko have been great to be able to put together a memorial. This memorial will enable people worldwide, whenever they're traveling to Japan, to pass by and perhaps just reflect for a few minutes on what Pops means to the motorcycle world. And I think it's a fantastic idea, and I just can't wait to be there at some stage to pass on my own thanks for the things that Pops was able to do. Fantastic guy. Sorely missed, but life does go on, and his company is growing from strength to strength, so he can rest assured, wherever he is at the moment, that things are in good hands. Thank you.